Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Open Line. Glad you are with us. We're talking about going back to work. Many people are really desperate to get back to work, and many people are also concerned for their safety as they do go back to work. We're talking with Billy Dycus. He is president of the Tennessee AFL-CIO, and we have a bunch of calls. So let's go to the phones here. Let's start out with Ann. Hello. Hi, Ann.
Last week, a young lady that's like a daughter to the family called and was upset because she had been called back to work at a major restaurant chain, and it's normally in a mall, and she was going back not as a bartender but a waitress. And what concerned her was they would not be providing the face mask. All employees had been told to provide their own, something that this young mother with two small children was quite concerned about. OSHA, for one, has two requirements. The employer provide that equipment, and two, the employee not be asked to use their home products, which this restaurant was going to be in violation of right off the bat. Yet we're a right-to-work state, and this employer knows that this employee's probably only making $2 or $3 an hour, and he can replace them, and he can fire them for any reason. It doesn't matter anyway. So you are the one to answer my question. How are these businesses getting by with doing this, especially now when, for one, we're being told to wear these masks. We're being told by the mayor and everybody and their mama that these employers are being told that they are required to check temperatures and to provide masks for their employees.
Okay, well, let's ask that. All right, so Billy Dycus, you heard the question there. What do you think?
Well, you know what, and she's right about one thing, that the employer definitely could fire her. My opinion is that businesses have so much power anymore, and that the balance of between worker and the workplace has changed to the point that, you know, it's we as, and I'll back up a little. We as a country, we've become prey to the dollar, and we've allowed ourselves to get away from the things that my father and my grandparents went through after the Great Depression, and that's trying to make ends meet, you know, and you know, one person at home with children, and so we've moved ourselves in a situation where we are kind of at the mercy of big business. And she said it's a major corporation, and so these corporations are beholden not to the employee anymore, but they're beholden to the stockholders and to the CEO. And so, you know, as that's gone on, and you've seen the erosion of unions, the voice of the worker is very minimal anymore. So it's a terrible situation for people like this young woman, that, you know, she's got children, you know, and you know, you think about, you know, this virus, it doesn't pick and choose. It's not rich and poor, and it's not black or white or brown or tan or male or female or young or old. It can affect any of us. It's so it's one of those things where, again, and it collectively we have a major voice, and when we lose those things, then we're gonna suffer these things. Especially, look, even in a non-right to work state, you can still be terminated, and don't think it doesn't happen in those states. Right to work really and truly only means it doesn't give you the right to work. All it means is that you don't have to belong to a labor union if you work at a company and it's organized and you have a labor union. That's all it means.
Well, let me ask you.
It was a great place.
But let me ask you this. The premise of her question is that the employer has to supply a face mask Is that right? And it could be, you know, they're giving them away at the health department. I mean, could the employer, I guess, just tell the employee to go there? Now maybe that employee had kids and wasn't able to get there. But is that right that the employer does have to provide something like face masks?
The employer has to provide proper PPE according to the OSHA standards. Now, the employer is going to pick and choose what those standards may be. But he would be, my opinion is he's in violation of the OSHA standard if he's requiring them to wear PPE and he's not providing for proper PPE. A made-at-home face mask is not an N95 approved face mask. So I think that you know, very well could have an OSHA complaint. But there again, the repercussions of that complaint might be this young woman having to make a choice of whether she's going to take care of her 2 children or she's going to go to work.
All right, let's go to Natalie.
Yeah, I'm still on hold on my end.
Well, here, Natalie, now you're not on hold. Natalie, what's on your mind, Natalie? You're on the air now.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I'm calling because I'm concerned about going to school in the fall.
Okay. You're concerned about going to school in the fall, right?
Yes. Thank you.
Are you a teacher?
I am.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about that. So here we have teachers concerned about going to school in the fall. What are your thoughts there?
Well, I've got mixed emotions because, you know, I don't know where we're going to be as far as this virus in its what stage it's going to be in, and where are we going to be with testing, and how are we going to manage? There's no way to take, you know, we don't have classroom sizes are not 8 or 10 kids. You know, they're 25 sometimes, 27 to a classroom. It's impossible to do social distancing. You know, I've heard some talk about staggered school days. Some kids are going in the morning, some in the afternoon. I will say this, it's going to be a challenge for any teacher because I don't think a child is going to get the same education on a computer, laptop, doing stay-at-home classes as he is in the classroom. Not saying that it's not an important tool, that it's not used properly, but I think teachers have a legitimate concern that, you know, parents are trying to take care of their children, but they're also having to work a job, and a lot of times, as bad as this is to say, school's a babysitting tool. And so, you know, if I'm sending a child to school, I don't have to worry about paying a babysitter because they're at school from, you know, get on the bus at 7, come home at 4. So, you know, are parents going to be able to take off work, you know, to take care of a child when the child's got a temperature so that you're not sending sick kids to school? She's definitely got legitimate concerns. And there again, you know, we're in uncharted waters, and you know, I'm not too much on the phrase new normal, but I do think that we're in for a roller coaster between now and when school starts back the first week of August or so.
School in Davidson County is ending officially this week, but certainly kids haven't been in school since before spring break. So yeah, the fall, I hope, is okay, but I understand the concerns. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Yeah, but good grief. Boy, I know a lot of parents appreciate teachers now more than ever. I'll say that too. Let's go to Mike on line 3. Hello, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Go right ahead. What's on your mind? Go right ahead, Mike.
Well, I ain't heard the man say nothing. I'm sitting there watching the news.
Well, you can. All right, now you're on the air, so you can say whatever you'd like to say.
Yes, sir. My name is Mike, and yeah, I agree with people's not wanting to go back to work because you cannot believe the politicians. The health department doesn't tell the accuracy. They don't have enough tests to put out there. Bill Williams at Channel 5 busted Governor Lee, the little blonde-headed doctor, showed that she sat there and told lies on TV He busted her live on TV. Then you turn around, Governor Lee just went and bought all these masks from North Carolina, paid $8.2 million for them, and they're socks. They don't even work. And people from Tennessee couldn't make them masks. And he didn't even put out no bids or anything.
All right, okay, I'm going to take your question there. The masks, I think, have been proven to be effective. And yeah, they are. There wasn't a bidding process, but I guess you would argue that it was an emergency to get done. But I'm gonna ask you, Billy Dycus, from that call, just the skepticism people have in government now. How much of a concern is that when it's up to government to release the numbers on how many people are sick, and it's up to the government, TOSHA, to protect workers? When you hear Mike's call there, you know, what do you think?
I think Mike's like a lot of us that's frustrated because you really are at the mercy of the politicians and to the media because you really don't know what to believe. And it, you know, it always starts, you know, with people saying, well, it's not that bad, or well, it's worse. And so we're getting conflicted messages, and that, you know, to me is what makes it so difficult, you know, for anyone trying to go back to work. You know, when we are getting conflicting messages, you know, if down in Manchester where I'm from, you know, the Sonic's been running wild, but you go by there today and all of a sudden it's cordoned off because somebody tested positive for corona. So you know, it's frustrating. You can hear it in Mike's voice, you know, and you know, and you know, I don't disagree, you know, that we probably could have done those contracts here. I'm sure there would have been several places that would have been able to switch over. But on the, you know, I'm not going to defend Governor Lee a lot, but when you're trying to make decisions to get PPE, you know, and I don't know, $8.2 million is a whole lot of money, but I do see where, you know, when you're sitting at the top and you're making decisions, those decisions are going to be scrutinized, and he deserves the scrutiny. And you know, you make those decisions, you know, and you know, he's the one that's going to have to stick by them, and you know, it'll all bear fruit in the future.
I think a lot of people were concerned by the appearance of the mask. There have been some tests, and they are certainly better than nothing. I mean, get the mask if you can. Wear a mask. It will protect you, and it will protect those around you. So we know that. There was some concern in the beginning, and there is a lot of frustration just about information, I understand. So thank you for that call, Mike. All right, we're going to take a break. Donna, Max, others, we have several other calls. A couple lines open if you want to call. There's the number on the bottom, 615-737-PLUS, 615-737-7587. We'll take a break. Be back right after this.